Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Today is Friday, October 15th. It's Friday, almost the weekend. But of course, for real estate, that's our busy times. That's when things get busy. I think like Friday is like Sunday to realtors sometimes because it's like, okay, we're maybe the buyers and sellers have things to do, personal things to do on Friday, but then Saturday, everything starts hitting up. So, today, I'm going to talk about assuming. Assuming. This is something that I have to remind myself on a daily basis not to assume. Do you assume things? We all do. We all do. We all assume, our relationships, the way we communicate, the way we do our business, the way everything in our life. Sometimes we just assume because it started a certain way. Example, when you have a relationship, a personal relationship with someone, sometimes you talk and communicate the same way, go to the same places, schedule things and events and dinners and things and getting together the same way because you just assume that's how things always been. Same with business. You can't always assume that when you have a long relationship with a seller, not too much in this market, they're selling very fast, or a buyer, especially our relationship with our buyers are lasting longer and longer because sometimes it's hard to find the properties out there. So assuming that the way you communicate, the way the business and the service you're giving to people, you should always ask questions. So how you get out of that not really rut, but out of that constantly assuming that you're doing the right thing for the right people and communicating the right way, you have to ask questions. So if you have a long relationship with someone, just always ask that person on a personal basis, is there another way that you like to communicate? Do you like our relationship? I know it sounds weird, but am I doing a good job? Is there people, and it goes in reverse, are there people in your life you wish that they would do things differently? You're like, I wish they would do this. I wish they would do that. I wish they would say this or go here or do that. Same with business. Sometimes you wish your clients would call you at this time or wish they would be more available on that time or wish they would communicate in a different way. You have maybe a spouses and you got to communicate with both of them. But you might not ask them, this is the point I'm getting at, to do things differently for you because you assume they don't want to do it that way. Does that make sense? Like if you have a client and you're, gosh, I wish they would just call me in the morning and we could answer all of their questions because during the day they always call me in the middle of the day when I'm busy with other clients or other appointments. Or again, I'm sticking with this one example, husband and wife, she calls me at noon every day and then he calls me at 1:30 and I got to go over the whole thing again with them, and I assume that's how they want to communicate. But maybe if I have a conversation with them and I'm just throwing this off the top of my head and go, hey, Mr. or Mrs. buyers or sellers, I want to communicate and give you the best service possible. I would love to make this a little bit more efficient and better for all of us. Would it be possible that we all three of us get on a call and certain mornings, afternoons, evenings, when it's all okay, we'll schedule it. Now jumping back, how many people in our lives, personal and business, just call whenever? And as realtors, and I said this to a few agents over the last few days, you're the professional. We just assume we have to pick up the phone every time it rings. We assume we have to jump every time our clients say jump because we're busy. We're the professionals. So you have to communicate with your clients how the best it is for you to service them. Example, scheduling times to call, not calling whenever. When my phone rings, I assume it's an emergency because I try to schedule all my calls as soon as possible. Personal during the day, not at night, but personal and business wise. And something that I do, and a lot of my agents that are watching this saying, I love texts. Because to me, if you call without texting first, I used to assume that you just think that I have nothing to do and I'm just in between things and I don't have a busy day helping lots of people. That's like trying to get a hold of your doctor, and I'm not comparing myself to a doctor, but trying to get your doctor. Call them up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Hey, can I talk to Dr. So-and-so? What do you think they're going to say? No, Dr. So-and-so is in appointments all day. You have to schedule a time to talk to your doctor. You're a professional. If you're a busy agent, you're busy in life, you have to relay that and not assume your clients are going to get mad at you because you can't pick up that phone every time they call. I think that if you didn't assume that and ask them questions like, what's the best time to talk for you? How about we schedule times that we could talk at the end of the day, every other day, every third day? If there's something going on, maybe we could all get together and set up a time when we could all talk and not talk all the time, because I have agents almost daily that I know some of the problems with their clients and communication and dealing with things, they're not scheduling the calls. And this is my public service announcement to all agents. How about when you're working on a transaction, you both, as agents, buyer and seller's agents, schedule coupled every few days or schedule calls when the two of you are going to communicate about the transaction. Number one complaint from agents every day, coming in and going out, is that I'm trying to get a hold of this agent and can't get a hold of them. They're not texting back. They're not calling back. And I always think the best, or not the worst, that this agent is busy in life or things going on and they just didn't communicate, and our agent or the other agent just assumes that that agent is ignoring them and not available to them. Do you have that happen? I hear that all the time from agents. Our agents coming in, agents have gone on vacation, they're busy, but they assume that there's something bad going on. They assume this agent is being rude and not calling them back. Do you have that? You're like, gosh, they're not texting me back. It's been 3 hours. They haven't texted me back. They must be ghosting me and not want to communicate with me. Or I've left messages because they assume that that agent might not be busy or things going on in their life. So ask questions. That's the number one thing I want you to get from this video today, is ask questions on how you could better serve your clients, how to better communicate with them, how to have a better relationship with them, especially with your buyers, because I see agents, this is happening to, is that sometimes it's a long relationship because they can't find houses. Deals are falling apart and you can't find the right house for them, and multiple offers, and you always got to assume that you're communicating with them. And one thing assume is that if you don't call them, they should assume that there's nothing to tell them. Oh, I hate that. That's my number one thing. That's my number one pet peeve of agents or mortgage companies or title companies, is that when someone calls you or texts you or emails you and you don't reply because you say, I have nothing new to tell them. Well, call them back, text them, email them back as soon as you can with a quick response. Say, I'm so sorry, I have nothing new to tell you. I will keep you updated. Thanks for checking in. How easy is that? But people assume. What happens? That's where a bad relationship happens. The person that's sending the message assumes that person is being rude and not helpful, and they don't want to talk to them. And then that other side is assuming that if I don't reply to them, that they're going to just assume that I have nothing new to tell them. Do you have that happen to you? That's just one example of assuming and how a relationship can go bad. And I express this to so many people, and especially my agents, when trying to give them the best communication possible, the best, and any of our agents that are watching, or any agent out there, I always say, text me. We'll schedule a time to talk. Text me, because that's how I go through in between my videos and my appointments. I go through, okay, who needs a call, who needs a text, who needs additional support. That's how people manage their lives sometimes, but how they communicate is different. That's how I like to communicate and schedule myself. And so I'm not going to assume that you know that about me. That's why I'm expressing that to everybody out here. And everybody's got my number. Anybody watching this video is in my Facebook or YouTube or getting an email or getting a text message. It has my phone number there. It's public. Everybody can see it. And that's an example of how I like to communicate and ask questions of people and ask them how they like to be communicated with. And I am giving that back and how I like to be communicated with. Does that make sense? And hopefully it is. It's in my head a sense there. But think about that today. Don't assume things. Don't assume just because there's no problems with the relationship with your buyers or your sellers or in your personal life that everything's great. Always ask for how you're doing. Make sure, ask how your people closest to you, how are you doing? How's things going? Is everything, you want things better? They might think and assume that that's the best you can be, but if you think you could be better at different things, ask them. Ask people, can I serve you better if it's a client? Can I have a better relationship with you if it's someone close to you? Ask questions, because things change over time too. If anybody that's been married for a long time or have children that are older now, needs, wants, communication, and relationships change over time, and you got to consider, and you can't assume that you can do the same things over and over again and everything's going to be perfect. But there's always room for improvement, and you have to ask questions to see where you need to improve if you want to improve, and I hope that you always do. So that's it for today on a Friday, a little deep conversation about assuming things. But remember, text me, call me, email me. I'm happy to set the time aside to help you with anything that you need in real estate or anything else I could help you with. I love to help as much as possible with anything. So have a great day. Have a good Friday. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.